South's community nature reserve's Dawn of Spring TV programmes. And today we're in Claire's garden. Well, Claire, thanks ever so much for inviting us into your garden today. A lot of our viewers are fascinated with anything in gardens that helps bee populations. And the first thing I noticed in your garden was these bee houses. Now, could you tell me, what is the difference between a bee house and beehive?
Well, I didn't know myself, but I looked it up on the internet, and there was beehives where you have a great swarm of bees and they make honey, or you get solitary bees that live just in holes in the walls, and this is what this is made for. There's a bug box and bee box. You can get little bugs go in the tiny holes and bees go in some of the larger holes, and the solitary bees fertilise just as many flowers as the honeybees.
Right. Who was it who made these bee houses?
I made the kit. I looked it up on the internet, got some pieces of wood and just cut 3 pieces to fix together in a triangle. The first triangle I made myself, and the second triangle I gave to my grandchildren to make. So I've got 2 sets of grandchildren. The first set were really quite young, so they just did putting the little tubes in, and they painted and decorated, well, they coloured it in with their pens. The second lot were a little bit older grandchildren, so they decided to spray paint their bug box, and they glued it together themselves as well.
It's so important to have children involved because they are the next generation of wildlife-friendly gardeners, aren't they?
Yes, and they're so excited. They've seen the pictures of them up on the wall now. They can't wait to come round and see them.
Wonderful. So, Claire, you've got a beautiful lilac tree here. What sort of wildlife does this attract?
Well, we get bees on it, and in the summer we should get butterflies on it too, although I haven't seen any yet 'cause it's a bit cold.
Fair enough. How old is this bush?
It's less than a year. We bought it in Lidl's in the summer last year.
In Lidl's, right. Yeah. So it's accessible. Wildlife-friendly gardening is accessible if you can get it from Lidl. Now, where did you get your climbers from?
Bought them from Morrison's, so they were nice and cheap. They're the little ones you get in the cardboard boxes.
Yes.
And they go all the way along the fence, lots of different ones, and they're all just quite normal, natural, common plants.
Right. When people think about butterfly-friendly plants, they think of buddleia, but lilac is obviously something else for people to think about. So, Claire, you've got a beautiful crabapple here. Could you tell me what sort of insects does this crabapple attract?
Well, there's a bit of a story here. One morning I got up and I like to wander around the garden first thing in the morning. It was covered in spider webs.
Oh, right, okay.
I reckon the spiders were there to catch the flies.
Yes.
It was covered in flowers, and the flies and bees were buzzing around the flowers. So I think it's done its full circle there.
So, Claire, wonderful loganberry. What sort of wildlife do we have on this kind of plant?
There's obviously quite a lot on it because there's lots of evidence because they've been eating it.
Yes.
But I don't see much. I've seen a caterpillar on it once last year.
Okay.
But there's obviously more. All the leaves, all the old leaves, have been really eaten back.
That's the evidence of wildlife, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
From over the winter, they I think that's what they fed on over the winter. Whatever was left has gradually been eaten back. And
Okay.
then now the summer's come, we've got lots of new leaves.
It's very healthy, isn't it? Yeah. And I see you do your own composting.
Yes, I've always done my own composting. It's not really the best spot for it. It's a little bit shaded in this corner.
Yes.
The sun gets it in the morning, it heats it up nicely, so it takes a bit longer than normal.
Right. And is that the only type of composting that you're doing, or?
I've just started bokashi composting as well.
Tell us about bokashi.
I don't know a lot about it, but it basically pickles your garden. Your
Pickled compost.
Pickled compost.
Okay.
Well, you have a bin and you sprinkle some magical stuff over the top, and you put it's for your kitchen waste. So you put a layer of kitchen waste and then you sprinkle this what looks like bran, but it's actually different enzymes. Which you sprinkle on the
That's
top.
the magic stuff, is it?
Yeah, and it smells a little bit vinegary.
Okay.
I mean, it took me about 2 weeks to fill the first bin. Well, I've actually got 4 bins. They recommend 2, but I thought I'd go for 4 and let it go for a bit longer.
If you're going to do it,
do it well, yeah. So my first bin is pickling away.
Yes.
And I get a little bit of juice that comes out the bottom. There's a little tap at the bottom. And you can either pour the juice into your compost bin, which is what I've been doing, or you can put it in a watering can, fill it up with water and water all your plants with it. It works as plant food.
So you can recommend bokashi, can you?
From my 2 weeks experience, yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't smell nasty. It just smells very slight vinegary smell.
Right. Well, Claire, a lot of people think that greenhouses have to be glass, but you're proving them wrong because this is polythene plastic. Where did you get this greenhouse material from?
I just got the greenhouse from Argos. It was a quick, cheap and easy make it yourself one. They don't last much more than a year though, so I'm investing in the second-hand one now.
Fair enough.
The last one.
Great. What are you growing in your greenhouse?
Well, I'm trying to make my lawn back to the old-fashioned lawn, so I've got some daisy seeds that I've planted. I'm growing buttercups, red clover, all the things that used to grow in lawns.
Now, what are you going to do with these seedlings when they're a little bit larger?
When they're a bit larger, I'll put them in some larger pots so that they can grow some decent roots. And then when there's actually a plant that I recognise as a daisy, I'll plant it in the lawn.
Sounds good. So here we are in another part of Claire's garden. And Claire, a beautiful bush here. What sort of wildlife is this attracted to?
Huge great bumblebees on this one. They keep coming back again and again.
Yes.
It's lovely.
Fantastic. It's so interesting spending time here in Claire's garden, looking at her wildlife-friendly plants. The whole point of Felixstowe's Community Nature Reserve is to challenge gardeners, allotment owners and window box owners to allocate as much of their land, it need only be a few yards, allocate their land for wildlife-friendly plants. And can you imagine the effect that would have on the whole of the Felixstowe area if every gardener, if every allotment owner, if every window box owner did their bit for wildlife-friendly plants? And then think more broadly about the whole of the UK. Just imagine if every gardener, every allotment owner and every owner of window boxes did something for wildlife. The result would be to transform wildlife conservation across the country.